I started reading Sunrise on the Reaping, and I'm about 48 pages into the book. I've already cried twice, and I kind of have the urge to highlight everything. There's already so much in there that's like a callback or a reference to some other characters who were related, characters who were mentioned in the Hunger Games series, and all of that. I am actually genuinely concerned now that not doing a reread of the Hunger Games and A Ballad of Songbird and Snakes has been detrimental to my reading experience, but we're really in it now, so you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But can't turn a page without finding something or the other highlighted. I'm pretty sure there was a page where like a lot of information was highlighted. And initially, I was gonna do a bunch of highlighter colors and color code them and all of that, but then that was taking away from my reading experience. And maybe I can do that on my reread because then I'll actually know if things are coincidence. Knowing Suzanne Collins, no. But if things are a coincidence or if they're like an actual callback or reference to something, and I am still terrified of this book. Yeah, I'm still terrified of this book, and also I'm really glad to say that I already know kind of like we know the symbolism behind this, and I'm pretty sure that there's going to be further expansion on this symbol in the book, but we already kind of get an idea of why this is on the cover and how this will come to be more important in the book later. That is interesting. So the books. When I read The Hunger Games, I was at like maybe 15 or 16 years old, and I didn't really think that much of it back then. But reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes a few years ago and reading The Sunrise on the Reaping right now, I'm always surprised, appalled, and then obviously the knowledge that this is actually what goes on in the world in some sense because these books are a comment about society. But I'm just shocked at how much violence there is. The games haven't even started yet, and there's already so much. And the way that these characters think about how what things are a part of their ordinary life and are to be expected, which people like us would be shocked at. But also, we know that there are people currently in the world who have really dark realities, and they wouldn't be, so they've grown up with that, they are used to that, and we just kind of ignore all of that and we continue to live. And some of us, like, we try to do what little we can, but we know that that's not enough, and reality of the world that we are living in. And these books are really powerful. And I've been watching this. There's some creator on Instagram who keeps coming on my For You page who is reading The Hunger Games, the original trilogy, with her students in class. And yeah, that kind of thing is actually what is needed. We need to read more impactful books, and we need to read them young, and we need to learn and teach the children literary analysis, critical thinking, all of that, because especially now with how integrated technology is becoming into our lives, we every moment of our time is accounted for. It is either taken up by our jobs or by the phones and the internet, that we, like, it's something that we cannot remove from our daily lives, but it's also something that is taking a lot from us, and we don't even realize how little we think, how little we experience things, how little we sit with things until something like this comes along. So um, I don't know where I went with this book, but yeah, 48 pages in, already cried a bunch. So I'll read a few more pages. This has just been 48 pages, and I'll check in a bit. And I'm gonna be more disciplined with how frequently I check in. I'm not going to do the hey, so I finished this book thing. I'm going to try and check in every 100 or 200 pages at the most. Alright, see you in the next one. Hello again. Hi. I am terrible at vlogging about books. All that I have is footage of me reading The Sunrise on the Reaping and being shocked, and I believe 25 minutes straight of me just sobbing. So, as you can probably tell, I finished reading this book. I loved it. The writing is immaculate, the world building stellar. There's nothing that I can say about Suzanne Collins that hasn't been said before by people who've read this book or people who've read The Hunger Games or The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah, I really wanted to do a spoiler free I really wanted to do a spoiler free vlog, which is why I kept on thinking, okay, this has happened, and I should probably read a little bit further before I talk about my views, before I try to talk about the themes or the characters or whatever. But ultimately, it came to a point where everything was just going down and happening so fast that I couldn't look away. I could barely remember to pause and film and talk about. And again, the spoiler free thing kind of worked against me this time. To be fair, I've never really vlogged before. I was supposed to vlog Caraval, and I was a bit better with that series than I was with this book. But yeah, so here's some footage of me crying, straight up sobbing, while I try to read this book. This is truly one of those books where I did not finish this book. This book finished me. I made a video, like I tried to film a segment of me trying to talk about this book and wrapping things up just a few minutes ago, and then I realized that my mic died halfway through, so all the audio on that is lost. And I talked about the themes, the propaganda thingy, the oppression thingy, the um I even read out my favorite paragraph, which is the one about AI. I'm just gonna put it up on screen here instead of reading it out to you again. Well, yeah, as you can probably tell from that video of me sobbing, this book broke me. It broke me. And there are so many wonderful things that are explored in this book. But because this was supposed to be a vlog and not a literary analysis video, and because I'm trying to avoid spoilies, I tried to film a section with spoilers, which is where I lost all the audio. And I truly do not have the courage to go through this book and talk about all the things all over again. So we know what happened during Haymitch's Hunger Games from Catching Fire, where Peeta and Katniss are going through all the old tapes of Hunger Games, of all the people who won and what all strategies they implemented, what kind of arenas they had, and all of that. But there again is the underlying overarching theme of the book that you are not immune to propaganda. I am not immune to propaganda as the reader. Was not immune to corporate. Katniss was not immune to capital propaganda. She consumed the video of Haymitch's games, but she did not realize that maybe what she saw was not all that happened. And again, like as readers of the original trilogy, we know what happens. We know the way things turn out for Haymitch. We know who he is after 24 years have passed since this book. But it was still shocking. It was still heartbreaking. There were moments where I was just sobbing, but I couldn't stop turning the pages. It was a great and wonderful yet painful read. And while initially I wanted to go through the original trilogy and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and then Sunrise on the Reaping again. I don't think that I'm in a position to touch any of these books anytime soon. So I know this is a bit disappointing. If not for you, then it is for me that I tried to do a vlog style video for the first time in a while, and first time actually, and I am just not that great at it. So I'm just gonna take this as a lesson and take this as a teaching moment about how I can improve on this content format, and maybe take note of everything that I'm feeling at certain points during the book. Maybe I can make these spoilery so that I'm able to talk about it more freely and I don't have that hesitation of recording because I'm scared that I'll say something that's a spoiler. So, yep, lots of that. But mostly, if you haven't read Sunrise on the Reaping yet, this book deserves the time and energy that you will spend on it and the money. And if you haven't read the original Hunger Games, you should definitely read it. It's relevant as hell, it's important, it makes essential points, it calls us out. And if not now, with the world and things the way they are, then when, you know. So, yeah, uh, I read this book, I loved a lot, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.